And we'll see the Lucas Slick Mist car of Tommy Dreesy out in TA later today. As our speed tour continues from VIR, Ben Sissel and Jonathan Green bringing you the action as we turn our attention now to Group 2. And again, some real classics in here from late 60s all the way through to what, 2000 with a Van Diemen RF 00K.
So we saw Mark Giroux there up front in this Formula B. Then that's Scott Fairchild, who won the VIR Gold Cup with his father here a couple years ago. Bob Hatley right there drove all the way from Southern California to race for his first time here at Virginia International Raceway. One of the great racers from the West Coast. He and Kim Madrid, who's also in this group, and their group of cronies from the West Coast in the Formula 4 division. They like to take one big road trip a year, and this is the year. This is the event that they picked. There's Mark Clark. We saw him out there in the other event in the S2000. That's a 78 Crossley 32F. And ladies and gentlemen, Duke Waldrip right there. Duke, I hope you're okay with me saying this, but this is Duke and Faye. Faye, his wife, was our Amateur Mechanic of the Year back in 2019. And Duke, this is his first race back with us. He's had some health issues, and we were so happy to see him back because he's been a staple. It was odd for he and Faye not to be in our paddock, and he is I think, one of the only two, or maybe the only person to have ever raced a motorcycle, a boat, and a car at Daytona Speedway.
Ha! That's a great accolade. Kim Madrid in that all-pink Crossley. Can't miss that, can you?
Kim Madrid, another from Rancho Cucamonga.
How'd you like the head?
I love that mohawk. That it might take a few tiny little seconds off her time, though, but she doesn't care. She's got a dead
I'm going to buy that
sticker
for Tony when he's on the grid with you, because he'll need it.
He needs a helmet here. This is where he fell last year.
Well, that's it.
Yeah.
I thought you tripped him up.
I might have. There's Dave Fairchild, Scott's father, and Kim really wanted to get ahead of Dave, so she's going to be happy about that. 1979 Zinc Z10. There is our full paddock here at VIR. But back to Duke. How crazy is it that so they raced boats at Daytona, I think, for only 2 years, and he raced his speedboat at Daytona, raced motorcycles there for years, and raced cars.
So are you talking about that infield lake?
Yeah, that little lake in the infield. Yeah, they raced speedboats at some point.
Yeah, it's big enough. Absolutely, it's big enough. I actually, at one of the Daytona for 24 hours, I watched a guy water ski for 24 hours.
Wow.
Well, I didn't watch him water ski, but I watched him intermittently.
Yeah.
I went to bed and came back, and he was still going.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are streaming this not only on the SVRA app, but also our Facebook page and our YouTube page. So please leave some comments. I'll tell you what, I love this Group 2 because it's some really close racing, but I don't know a lot about these Formula Fords and these Formula Bs, although Formula Bs are my favorite open-wheel cars. So if you hear us say something wrong, or if you'd like to add your expertise, please leave a comment, and we will read it over the air with your name. And if you tell us something wise or give us a little bit of insight on these cars or drivers, we will much appreciate it. So here is your chance to yell at the commentators and make a difference in this broadcast.
Yeah, I love the fact that eligibility for SVRA Group 2 is pre-73 Formula cars with noted exceptions. And then the noted exceptions run all the way 1 through 12, and you pretty much have got Formula Ford, Club Ford, Formula Libra, Formula B, Super V, and many others. So it's it's a really, really great group of small Formula cars, and I love it.
Back in the day, these cars, like Formula B was basically like Formula 2.
Yep.
But no downforce, very difficult to drive, easy to maintain. Parts were pretty readily available, but usually back in these SCCA championships of these Formula Fords or Club Fords, those were the drivers. You have to drive these cars with such momentum, so precise, with perfect finesse. You can't really hammer down the power. There's no downforce, so this is a driver's class, and always some great racing in this Group 2.
So here we go then. They come down the hill.
I'm hearing that the Formula Ford had the Kent 1600 engine and the Formula B had a twin cam head from the 1600. So thank you, Rowdy CM, for that insight.
Well, I hope our Formula 4 crowd are watching this, because this is sort of period what they would have been racing back in the day. But here we go. Good field. And a great circuit to race at with these cars. Nice and narrow, but plenty of places to overtake as they accelerate away towards the horseshoe for the first time. Group 2, feature race 1. We're not going to see the whole race of this, but we will see them in action later in the weekend because each and every of our SVRA groups gets 2 feature races per weekend. Away they go. Good clean start.
Look at this battle for the Formula Fords. Mark Giroux, should be jumping out front, but then we've got Fairchild, Bob Hatley, and Mark Clark side by side there through the NASCAR bend. Look at these trees in the foreground. Really show the speed here. I love these shots that we're getting here from turn 1, green light.
Out of the left hook and down through the snake for the first time, past the Resort Hotel. Oh, in fact, that's not the Resort Hotel. That's in the background, isn't it? What do they do at that big mansion there then?
That's a hotel also.
Okay.
Yeah, you can stay there. Look at this. Fairchild is coming up on Giroux. That shouldn't be, but we've got somebody. Chris Nolan's watching from Canada. Well, hello, Abe.
Yeah.
Hello, guy. And then hi from Dublin, Ireland. Can you do an Irish accent?
Oh, my cars can. Dublin, Ireland, is he? Okay, then. Yes. The dog's called Murphy.
So here we go. Mark Giroux, Scott Fairchild. This is Scott's home track. Bob Hatley following along, though, with Mark Clark. And there's Kim Madrid with that deadhead sticker on her crossley, followed closely by Dave Fairchild.
I thought you were supposed to put a deadhead sticker on a Cadillac.
Yeah, according to Don Henley, the Boys of Summer, that's what they did, right?
You are not. I can't get you. Got to get up early to get you, Ben.
On Classic Rock, yes. On Classic Rock, you do. Yeah.
Yes, I shouldn't take on a Grammy Award winner.
Here we go. Look at these beautiful hills here of Virginia. We're basically looking into North Carolina.
Yeah, but,
right
exactly.
on the border.
We are in Virginia, but we're looking at North Carolina.
Yeah.
I flew into North Carolina.
So here's Scott Fairchild. Scott Fairchild, I would guess he's probably in his late 20s, has a very young child. He and his dad race in this same series. I've been here at different events, and he and Doug Meese will just go at it in these Formula Ford. Uh-oh, it looks like Mark Giroux put his hand up, and I saw some smoke. I think has he got some engine problems? I can't tell. Yeah, he's fallen off.
Yep.
Mark Giroux there. We saw smoke, and he shut it down. Mark, if we can get you to come off the line there and just duck in behind that wall. Looks like he's still under power, though. Okay, so he's just going to kind of coast this thing around safely, hopefully. There's Kim Madrid, who's that ahead of her there in that pink car. Hopefully that's not Dave Fairchild. She just really desperately wants to beat Dave Fairchild. They have a pretty friendly rivalry going here. Oh, she goes off, too. She goes outside there at the left-hander. Spins it around. Kim Madrid, I don't know what happened there. Here comes Duke Waldrop in that 62 from the Lone Star State. The name like Duke Waldrop.
Yeah, I know.
Better be from Texas. We were talking about Duke, and Faye won the 2019 Amateur Mechanic of the Year. I have a great story about that, but we're looking at the number 15 of Gregory Stam. Gregory is in a 2000 Van Diemen RF00K. But Duke there in that red car, we were at Roebling Road, and I snuck up on Faye, who is his wife, and she's got her headphones in, and Duke is winning by like a half a lap. And she said, expletive, "Duke, if you don't slow down, you're going to blow something." And I was like, well, that's Duke's secret to his speed, is Faye. Faye keeps him grounded. And he slowed down a little bit, didn't blow anything, and then he came in to win. So we were like, from then on. And then later that afternoon, there's Faye underneath the car fixing something. So Rick Parent is like, well, she needs to be our amateur mechanic of the year.
There you go.
And it was so much fun to award her with that. That's a big honor in SVRA to win the amateur mechanic of the year. But with such a winning driver, you got to be wrenching on that car quite a bit. We love having Duke and Faye back in the SVRA paddocks with us.
Well, as we look high above VIR, we're going to take a short break and leave the action for a moment, and we'll be back very soon. So stay with us on whatever platform you're watching us. We're watching VIR SVRA SpeedTour. Stay with us.